What's going on, guys? Little Squishy Teach here, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Black Ops 3, kind of the things I like, the things I dislike, since it is coming to an end and we only have like 2 more days left of its life cycle. Then we got Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, which is freaking exciting. But yeah, so the game you're watching in the background is some gun game from the Infinite Warfare beta, just something I had left over. So what I want to be doing in this video is just kind of talking about the things I like, the things I dislike about Black Ops 3, and just things, you know, I kind of hope to see in the future with Infinite Warfare and then the rest of the Treyarch games and stuff like that. The first thing we're going to talk about are my favorite things from the game. So the first thing is it's very fast-paced, and if you started in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, and all those other games, you'll understand that it is really fast-paced. It's a lot more fast-paced than the previous games, but I mean, I kind of like that aspect of the game. Like, obviously a lot of people don't like the boost jumps and stuff like that, and I don't either, but I think it being fast-paced allows it to be a lot more exciting, and just kind of it paved way for new opportunities of play styles and whatnot. So that leads to my second point, which the movement was very versatile. There's a lot of different routes you could take and a lot of different play styles that were incorporated when you played this game. Before, it was just boots on the ground and, you know, you were really stuck in that one style of movement. But with this, you know, you got the wall runs, you got different shots you can make. There's a lot of different plays you can make, and it made the competitive scene a lot more versatile, a lot more fun. And then the longevity of it, and this is something we haven't seen a lot in previous games. The fact that there were 10 prestiges, and then once you got to 10th prestige, there were 1,000 levels beyond that, which I thought that was pretty cool. You could play this game for like the whole life cycle and not get bored of it, and still have more stuff to do, more challenges to complete and whatnot. So I think that really made the game a lot more playable. Grinding to get to Master Prestige, grinding to get to a level 1,000, I thought that was actually pretty cool. And then the weapon balance. I mean, at first it seemed like the SMGs were like super overpowered. You know, you got the VMP, you got the Vesper, things that just melted. But then the ARs actually started playing a bigger role, especially with like Search and Destroy and even Team Deathmatch. Like the M8. The M8 was a very good burst fire gun, and I mean, so was the XR2. They were both freaking powerful. Then the KM44, you just got so many guns that you can choose from, and there wasn't any like obviously the shotguns were overpowered because those take no skill, but you know, there was a lot of different guns that you can use and you can choose to fit your play style, and every gun you can get away with doing good with. That's just the basic way to put it. Then you had contracts. Contracts were a good way to boost your XP and just to actually like have something else to do other than the challenges, and other than just challenges, you had contracts that you can do to get crypto keys and, you know, open supply drop. And also character customization. There was a lot of different things you can do with your character, and you see a lot of that now. I mean, obviously it came from Advanced Warfare, but you see a lot of that now in Infinite Warfare. There's different, you know, you can customize your character to how you like it, but that also only goes to a point, because there's just a lot of things that you can do with your character that are just really cheesy, you know. But we'll get into that in my dislike section. So yeah, those are all like the main things I like. Obviously I like more stuff about the game, but those are just some things that I wanted to note. Now let's move on to the dislikes. So specialists are the first thing that I want to note, because they kind of seemed like a good idea at first, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know, I think the specialist and the combat rig idea is just not, I just don't really like that aspect of the game. I think it could be like taken out and completely avoided, and I think everybody would be okay with that. But I mean, it was their way of implementing like new play styles and trying to incorporate everybody's play style. I don't think you need a specific specialist to incorporate your play style. I think having basic characters would be perfectly fine, and I think it just kind of not ruins the game, but I mean, it just makes it a little less enjoyable. And also, going along with the specialist, we have the taunts at the end of the game. I think that's just ridiculous. I mean, some of them are cool, like the laughing and stuff like that. You have like these characters, like these grown-ass men doing dabs and stuff. I think it's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of cheesy. But I mean, hey, that's just me. The next we have, okay, this one I think pisses a lot of people off, except for the people that used it, was the melee weapons. I think that they were dumb, and just people running around one-shotting people with a pair of gloves. I mean, the gloves weren't even the worst one because everybody got them, but the ones that you gotta get from specialist weapon, like the swords and just the nunchucks and everything, that would have been pretty cool if I got the nunchucks. But I just don't think was a very good idea. But I mean, they did come up with some pretty cool things. But that actually segues into the next topic, which I think a lot of people agree with. But this is something that we're never gonna get away with. I feel like from now on, this is kind of the norm in Call of Duty games, is the supply drops. And I think that they're a good idea, and they were a good idea in Black Ops. You know, they executed it pretty well in Black Ops 3. Advanced Warfare was obviously a different story because you had variants and whatnot. Black Ops 3, I think they executed it very well because, you know, it was just camos. It was just visual things. It wasn't anything that actually changed the power of the gun or whatever. And so I think that was a good idea. And I think that Infinite Warfare is actually, you know, kind of finding a good middle ground with the fact that you can craft your own weapons and whatnot. But I think the fact that they added new guns into the supply drops in Black Ops 3, they added the melee weapons, like I was talking about, I just think that it kind of is going more to pay to win, and I think that's what Activision wants. You know, they want the money, which is fine. I mean, it's their game, and I guess it's their business move. But I mean, hey, I think that the whole pay-to-win system is just kind of jacked, and that's just my opinion. I mean, most people might not care, but I mean, that's just me. This next one's kind of nitpicky. Actually, it's not really like that big of a deal, but the fact that there was only red dot sights, I mean, I really like the fact that there were like just a blue dot in Black Ops 1. I believe in Black Ops 1 there was just a blue dot. I don't know, there was different reticles that you can use and different stuff like that, but I think that would be cool if they just implemented like a blue dot sight, a green dot sight, and different stuff like that. I don't know, it's just, it's not really a huge deal because like it's just the color of the dot, but I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know, that's just, like I said, that's just really nitpicky. The last was the camos. Oh, the camos were just, they covered like 30% of the gun. There wasn't even a, if you didn't have a camo, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell because the camos were weak. I'm sorry, Treyarch, but your camos were weak. Also, the mode I really just think should never be put back into a game was Safeguard. Nobody really played it, and it was just kind of ridiculous. Like there was always that one team that would win both rounds, and it was, I don't know. It was a good attempt at changing it up and adding some new aspects to the game, but I don't think you should ever play a new game again. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Don't get mad. So the next thing we have is my favorite maps. I'm just gonna go over my top 3 favorite maps and my top 3 most disliked map. So my number 1 is Infection. This is a map from God. Not only is it cool because, you know, you have how trippy it is. It's like Incept. I think it's just a cool map. Like it's just your basic 3-lane map. I think it's just really greatly executed. And then Breach. Breach is another 3-lane map. If you notice that the best maps are the 3-lane maps, and that's just 3-lane maps are the best maps just because of how they play. You know, they play really smoothly, and I think that's how it should be. And then Fringe. So these 3 maps, Infection, Breach, and Fringe, are my top 3 favorite maps. You know, I was looking through the maps I dislike, and I couldn't find that many maps that I didn't like. There was one that I hated, 2 that I hated. 2 maps that I really hated. But other than that, most of them were actually pretty good. I had a hard time choosing my top 3. Like Aquarium, I really like Aquarium. Anyways, yeah, Aquarium was cool, and just there was a lot of maps that I really like didn't care for, but I never really disliked a lot of maps in this game. And this is not talking about any DLC map. I'm just talking about the maps that the game actually came with. And then so now going into the disliked maps, first we have Nuketown, and a lot of people like this map, and a lot of people only play this map. That's why there's a playlist for just this map, but I don't like it. I think putting it into a game 3 times was a little too much. I think the first time was fun, never played the second one, and the third one they just screwed it up. Then we have Havoc. Havoc, I don't know, something about Havoc, maybe it's just because I always didn't do that great on Havoc, but I don't know, something about this map is just kind of I don't know, something about it I just really don't like. It's probably because everybody just clumps in that one building. If you walk out of the building, you're getting sniped from somewhere, and I mean, hey, that's, you know, that's how the map plays, but I'm not a huge fan. And then the third, we have Nuketown again because I just hate that map. Now we're gonna go to my favorite guns, and this one was actually really hard because I really did like a lot of the guns. Actually, I liked most of the guns. The first one we have is the VMP, and the VMP is kind of like one of the OP guns in this game. I'm not gonna lie, I just really played well with it. That's really how I most of my opinions on, like my favorite maps, my most hated maps. You know, that's how I base most of my opinions on, is if I did well or not. So yeah, the VMP was probably my favorite gun in the game, just because it was like, you could honestly get some longer shots with it. It was better than the Vesper. It didn't have as high of a fire rate, but I mean, hey, like, it was just so accurate, and I just slayed with it, honestly. Then we have the XR2. The XR2 was like honestly my favorite burst rifle. I mean, I didn't use the M8 that much until kind of later in the game, but the XR2 just melted, and I still personally think it is better than the M8. But it all really depends on what your playstyle is. I use a really fast-paced playstyle, and the M8 would be better for a fast-paced playstyle, but I mean, I just personally like the XR2 better, and I used it for a longer time, so maybe that's why. And then third, we have the M8. You know, it was really good. You can overkill with the VMP and the M8, and it was over. It was over. And I'm not gonna do a section on like the most hated guns, because guns are something you can actually control if you use or not. And I'm not gonna hate on the gun because other people used it, and if I didn't like it, I didn't use it. And that's pretty much that's pretty fucking simple. I mean, other than shotguns, I think I don't know. For me, shotguns just okay. We're not getting into that. But anyways, yeah. So those are just like, that was just kind of my overview of Black Ops 3. Now that it's nearing the end of its life cycle, which kind of sucks. But I'm excited for Infinite Warfare. Thursday at 9 o'clock, I'm going and I'm picking my copy up and Modern Warfare Remastered. I really don't know which one I'm gonna play first. I have to decide which one I'm gonna play first. But yeah, so that was just kind of my overview of Black Ops 3. I'm pretty sad to see it go. I'm still gonna be playing it probably every once in a while, not as much. But yeah, this year I'm pretty excited for what Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered have in store for us. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment down below what were some of your favorite things and most disliked things about Black Ops 3, and just comment some of the things you're excited about for Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in a bit.